Hi guys. So it's basically still the same day. It's like 5 in the morning, and you might hear my PC in the background. So I'm just rendering my last memo. I have some gameplay that I recorded because I have not much to do, and especially not much to get my mind off hard topics, I would say, and yeah. Anyways, I was just thinking about, like in general, which topic I really want to dive into, and I think it is loneliness. And because I don't know, when I was a child, I kind of knew it, you know. I don't know. I kind of had like the feeling that if I get along like this as an adult, I'm screwed. I kind of knew that, and I also I just had like this gut feeling that you get like kind of born into shit like this, and that it can be hard to break out of this like natural destiny, if you want to see it like that. And because like also as a child, I had like usually like one friend I was like close with, where I remember I really liked uh, giving gifts and presents, and I don't know, I really like the idea of like, I don't know, like ensuring trust, and also to be not like to share a lot of things. I don't know, that was just for me like a way to also physically show loyalty and shit like that. And I had like basically like one friend in my in my first class. I just did bullshit with, and then we changed the city from Berlin to the north in Germany, where I was in the yeah, what you call it, like fucking elementary school, from like second to fourth grade, and then we changed school, but the school was the same, so basically second to fifth. And there I had like this one friend, and we used to play Lego and shit, and I just like, as a kid, it was a different thing, right? Because I was in a circumstance where loneliness was something appreciated, because my mother was most of the time doing everything herself and usually was stressed out as shit. And with my brother, who was like mentally and physically handicapped, it was a rough time. It sometimes it was a rough time. Also, I had my problems in school with the one side was fitting in and not doing any bullshit, and going with the rules and stuff. And on the other hand, also with like homework and shit. And of course, that didn't help in any situation. So the time I got to just, after school be alone, especially like in the whole apartment alone, that was something I really enjoyed. It was just a quietness, a peaceful quietness, that usually just lasted for maximum a couple hours, where my mom, together with my brother, returned, or yeah, and then making dinner and shit like that, right? So that was like kind of a cool thing. um and yeah, and I mean, like, when I got old, I got to a point where um uh where like my friends kind of fell off, all this like school changing and shit, like, kind of messed it up. Not that any of those relationships I had would have still hold on to that day. Interestingly enough, since I'm back in Berlin, the guy, my friend from elementary school, he was a Vietnamese guy, and he actually lives in Berlin now. And I met him like I don't know, like a year or 2 years ago, I think, or maybe even 3 years at this point. Yeah, he also is turned into a big stoner. It's like studying like some engineering, I don't know. And yeah. No, but I don't know. I mean, like we have not really much in common anymore, and it was basically just that we both loved like Star Wars and Lego, and we both had like a sense of fantasy, I guess, and shit like this. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I just remember when we turned from the fourth to the fifth grade and changed the school, but the class stayed the same. It was like basically that puberty hit in like within like one day, and like from one day to the other, he said to me like, yeah, I don't know, like I'm just too old now for to play Lego and like hold sticks and like pretend to be stormtroopers, right? And we were in fifth grade. I know I wasn't ready for that. I mean, I knew he got more and more into playing on a computer, but I didn't had one, so I don't know. Uh, yeah, I don't know. And then also like the phones came in, and the phones really changed the game of how things went. In the beginning, I didn't really notice it that much because it felt just like a gimmick, you know, like there was always something new that somebody brought, and then was like, oh, let's inspect it, let's do shit with it. I don't know, and but yeah, I don't know. More and more, especially with social media, you just noticed how communication just left the three-dimensional realm. Like just in a quantity level. You just noticed how people were talking, like, and that was like then in also when I changed the school again. That I remember we had like an exchange weekend or something with some Polish kids, and they were the same age as we were, but they were like all on Snapchat and on Snapchat and something else, I think. Like the Polish kids, I think they used something special. I don't think it was just Snapchat. Um, anyways, but it was like if you didn't download it, right, you just had no way of just being a part, right? It was just an entry qualification. And of course you could say, right, okay, sure, then what's the point of it, right? But it's just interestingly enough, I don't know, it was just enough to for me to be excluded because I don't know, I just didn't felt like it, you know. I was like I don't need it. Like why should I? Like I have no one I really want to talk to. And on that weekend I downloaded it, but I don't know, I just instantly deinstalled it again when we were back in Germany. And I remember a lot of my classmates. They they held it installed and they held communication for quite some time, and I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really feel like I wanted to chat with those people. Also because I had like a new best friend at that time, um, but I don't know. I think it's just like shit like that where um I don't know, just like my stupid male genes or something. And they just don't register how the world is changing, and and you know, I mean, like I was like I guess like one of the kids who got into technology quite early because my dad was into technology really early, and he just kind of like passed that on to me. So I'm pretty used to technology and shit, but I don't know. It just especially like how it changed like the everyday life and how everyone now is like so soaked into that. Like I don't know, like 10, like 20 years ago or something, you would say, "Oh my god, you're like what the fuck? You how fucking nerdy you wanna be?" But it's just like normal these days, you know, to just chat on social media and shit, and to use dating apps and I don't know, like shit like that. And because like it's not like that I've been sitting on my ass this whole time in my apartment like waiting for shit. It has gotten to this point, but it's not that I haven't tried anything. I tried actually quite a lot, but I don't know. It's just like I think what do you call it, like high inhibition. I think high inhibition. So I don't know. It's just like sometimes hard for me to like just I don't know, take the situation in my hand and just say what I think. Or to just, I don't know, like, because I think when I just say what I think, that's something I learned with my mom, it can upset people quite a lot. So sometimes it's not just good to say what you think. Sometimes you have to think about what you want to say. And then you're standing there thinking about what you want to say, and then you have like so many options, and some seem good, decent, but maybe not good enough to use it instantly. And then you're just standing there evaluating, and and then you just like realizing, like, what the fuck am I even doing? Like, what the fuck am I even doing? Is this a human experience? And I don't know. Like, part of all this shit, I guess, for me, is also like the way my mom treated me when I was really young. She just, I don't know. I mean, I did like stupid shit as a kid, right? And she would like ask me. She would like ask me, why did you do that? I was like I have no idea. Like, I'm like 6 years old or like 5 years old. Like, how should I know? I mean, you're my mom. I feel like you should know. And then she's like, okay, like, go into your room and think about it. And yeah, and I want an answer. If you come out, I want an answer. And I remember, like, I remember, like, I feel like like that shit started like everything. That was like the first time I started to like really develop an inner dialogue, and like to an extent where, I don't know, it's just like, it's great, I don't know. And like this whole situation, it happened multiple times, over a couple of years. And also, I don't know, just like the way my mom sees life and thinks about shit, and how she, I don't know, it's hard to say, right? But my mom was hella judgy, and she judged the hell out of me. And I don't know, my mom was like always like, I don't know how to say it, but like accusing me, like she wasn't saying that I'm always in the wrong, but she says it can happen more often that someone might think, and that I should always evaluate me being in the wrong first. And my mother gave as like also like somewhat reasonable, right? And yeah, just my mother has a lot of great tips that she didn't really live for herself, unfortunately. But I don't know. But in the end, this like whole situation of like thinking about shit that, I don't know, I feel like I'm not really even meant to get an answer for, right? It got me like, I had like a vision or something, where I felt like I was like standing in like in a cell, in these like with the white walls, or like the bouncy white walls, Gummizellen. I don't know how to say it. Like you know what I mean, I guess, right? Where the insane people go, and the doors like closing, and like behind the doors like the love and like the beauty and the nature, like everything nice, and then you're just standing in that room, and the door's like locking, and it's like the biggest fucking vault door you have ever seen, with like 10 different types of locks, right? With like fingerprint and eye scanner, with like every kind of imaginable lock you could imagine, right? To open that door again. And that was like that was like basically, I don't know, this is like basically my experience. I feel like something of me has like never really left that point. Because also since then I know, I mean, like that was something my mother really hated about her mother, that she was like how to say it, like declining love as a punishment treatment or something, yeah. And but she basically did like the same to me. And I mean, it would be manageable, right? I think I worked on all that shit. Not that I'm done with it, but I think I've gotten quite far. The point though, that I feel like since I never really felt any love afterwards, like, I mean, I had like a crush in school, right? But like nothing worked out. I had like some girls I tried to hit on, which never worked. I mean, I had two options where they were two girls that kind of like me, but I didn't like them. Yeah, but and like, of course, all recently all that online dating shit, and I don't know, just everything else is just not really giving me a feeling of love in this world. Not, I mean, of course, I know it's a saying to say like I feel like love is not for me, but I don't know. It's I guess it's very relatable, and yeah, I don't know. So I feel like that's just like a curse, and I feel like I mean I feel like I have opened that door. I feel like I know it. I feel like I have found all the answers, and I know where there's no answer to find, where it's like more like a trick question. But I don't know. I'm still sitting here, alone by myself, talking to myself basically, and now, for some fucking reason, just uploading it on YouTube. I mean, like I said, I did this, like for the past, like since I started this on the clinic, I started this, like talking to myself. I did it basically every day for like 2 months or for like 1 month or something, and then I did like every second, every third day or something, but I still do it. I still fucking do it, because like sometimes I feel like, I just get like a parasocial experience, It's basically just an illusion I give myself to hold my phone in my hand and to have a person to talk to, even though I just talk to myself, which I did more often than I think is healthy, to be honest, especially when I did the LSD, right? I also did like some of these memos, and I don't know, some I guess survived to this time of day, some did not. Some had some pretty weird inconveniences, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's. I mean, I noticed, like when you map out your consciousness, you just see like I don't know how to say it, but at least maybe it is just for me. I don't know, but it is just somewhat normal for me to have something that. I mean, it's not like that I'm talking to myself and answering to myself. It's not like I'm answering myself a question, and I'm saying my own name and shit. It's not like that, right? I'm just talking and to the void basically. But it feels like it's humming back. I don't know, but yeah. Loneliness, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is all part of loneliness, right? Because like, what the fuck am I even thinking about, and that's something I noticed with a lot of people I've been talking to, and especially also with smart people. Most people, and I think it's part of sanity, still evaluate their like basic needs, which theoretically makes total sense, right? That's what a living being would do in the material world, is trying to maintain their consistence, I guess. Yeah, just like on every other level, you see that, right? That things try to hold their form and shit. But I don't know. It's at this point, it's not just it's not just my childhood and shit. It's also, I guess, like the way I've been going, right? The fucking shit I do and the shit I talk here, right? It's there's not a lot of people that can take the shit for so long. I don't know. I mean, it reminds me a bit of the with my the cousin, I just was also thinking about it. Is the female version of cousin? Am I stupid? But anyways, the younger female cousin that I had, I still have, the policewoman. We were talking also about that, and she was saying to me like, yeah, when you say like loneliness, it sounds so, I don't I don't even want to imagine it. It sounds so cruel. And I don't know. I think it's interesting because I feel like loneliness. It's like depression. It's so inflatedly used. But she was saying like, because like I said, like she's like a Stacy. She's okay, yeah, and and she said like, yeah, like yeah, of course I have struggles, but yeah, I mean like in comparison to that, I have it quite good, and I can't really say anything. Yeah, I don't know, just a little thing. So it's quite nice to have some appreciation from a Stacy. And the thing is, right, that it's not that I look so bad, right? So I would be talking hella, or I would be in a hella different state, if I would be like a sub 5 male or something, But no, I'm somewhat good looking. So like the main problem is really just like having no connection, and if I have connection, then either I don't get the connection I want, or they don't get the connection I want. Maybe even both of it, and I don't know. That's like kind of a problem. And sometimes I don't know. Then I like my cousin, or like sometimes I can talk to some people, but I like my Stacy cousin, I wasn't thinking that she would get it, she get it, or she got it to like a certain degree, which I didn't really expect her to get it on that level, but she did. So for her, the concept of what I'm doing and shit, and also why I'm lonely, and why it's not so easy just to do anything about it, and that if it would be like just like one of those easy things, like or just do this or just do that, or I would have done it, and I tried so much, and nothing has really worked, and now I'm just sitting here really frustrated with life, just basically just waiting for my last year to get over, and maybe to get to a point where maybe something happens. I don't know, but I mean, she got that, but still, she just said it's unfair, and like I'm pretty sure she meant it in a way that's unfair, that there are like people like that like have to dedicate their life, because she also was saying, right, like the guy, or you can just like balance it out, right, just have like a nice private life and do that, right? like why should you like so fanatically like go full on, like fully log in on that? And yeah, and I explained it to her. Like, exactly, that's the reason why nothing will change, because people don't sacrifice enough, people don't dedicate enough to that. And yeah, and maybe at some point, if you really want to do everything, maybe even you have to sacrifice yourself. And yeah, and then she basically said, yeah, that's like unfair, right? And then I said, I mean, like, you're a policewoman, right? And I mean, soldiers, policemen, like, there's a lot of people, serving and taking sacrifices for like a greater good or a bigger idea. And she said, yeah, but like not she still has a life, and the home and the boyfriend and shit. And I mean, of course, there's like maybe certain levels of sacrifice, if you want to see it like that. I would also say there's probably soldiers and like differences between different soldiers and policemen. But I mean, it's the way it is. It's like the only problem I really have, I can take it with honor. I can take it with strength, sometimes more than others. But like generally, like I said, I love the thing I do. Um, Even though I don't really know where it's going, and I have to trust a lot, and sometimes myself, sometimes in other things, but and yeah, it breaks me. It really breaks me, and the loneliness doesn't really help, and it tears down my mental stability. I feel like, and I think I would have broken down way earlier, if I'm honest. Um, or not just I'm not breaking down in a way that like my formality also breaks down, my ability to fit in, to not um, how you say it, to point out, to stay out now. You know what I mean, right? When you're like the black sheep, when everyone can spot you easily. That's like a neat word for that. To like peek out or something, maybe that, I don't know. And I mean, I still have like all those abilities that make my quality of life pretty easy in that sense. It could be way harder, right? I could attract physical consequences or conflicts, like this guy from the clinic, right? Because he cannot control his emotions and shit. And maybe it's sometimes a bit more dumber than he would like to, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is slowly going more down, since I don't know, with like the shit my dad is telling me, with like this, like with everything, right? I just feel like this world doesn't really want me. I mean, it would like me if I would be selling my soul to the system and just shut the fuck up and just do my thing, or not, I don't know. Um, like if I'm honest, I think like even though my dad would, if he would watch a movie, he wouldn't say the villain should win. Of course, the hero should win, and the good and the nature, and I don't know, like the of course, right? But when we are in the real world, where you actually could go for the real good, be the real hero theoretically. I know there's problems with that idea, but you know what I mean. If I would just go to a bank, make, I don't know, a couple of millions with or not, I don't know, but just like, you know what I mean, right? Just sell my soul to the system. I could go to, I think, which I could do well here. What is it? Fucking advertisement and shit, like, or state propaganda too. Because I don't know. I think like to build up a certain narrative. I think I've understood the narrative that is going on here quite well. I think I have quite a good idea of the schizophrenic aspect, and how to avoid like this like detection of like the schizophrenic aspects of the narrative that we have. I could do quite well there, I think. And I think my father wouldn't care. I think as long as I would just be smiling, and he wouldn't care I don't know. I feel like. But and yeah, and he doesn't really get why I'm doing this. Like, he just thinks that, yeah, like why do you care about like all the problems of the world? Just care about yourself. And then he's like, like pointing out, oh, you could do this, and you're sitting here and just studying the problems of the world, where you can basically change basically nothing about it. I mean, you can try to, but I mean, and then yeah, basically it's just like with the head through the wall, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. And of course, the loneliness is not just. I mean, that I have loneliness in like the male aspect. That I don't really have male friends anymore that I can really like chill with. That I really where was like in the early days I had like this like my old friends that were like, or you can just like drive up with your bicycle and hang out, or you can just like text them or do anything. I don't know, it was just like, and you could just meet up, without any excuse or anything. You could just be like, hey, I want to just hang out. It was basically like that, and it sounds utopian, I feel like, because like today this like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, and I don't know. I mean, and like with the guy that I have, like right with the clinic here, it is nice to meet up, but and it is like saying like you want to hang, you like, yeah, you want to hang around, but it is like, yeah, let's do it, but let's do it in 2 days, and then we do it in 2 days, and then we do it in like a week after that, because like I don't know. And it is just like not enough for me, and also like I don't know, he has like a girlfriend, he has like a bunch of shit to do, and I'm just like sitting here around, and it is odd, especially it is odd because he supposedly does like somewhat of the same thing like me. Yeah, and I don't know, and since he's like 27 and I'm 23, he also is like saying to me, oh, was where you were. I hate when they say that. I fucking hate when they say that, because especially since he has taken no psychedelic drugs, I feel like, bro, don't talk out of your ass, okay? I mean, like, I know that I talk out of my ass, and if you would have taken psychedelics, you would know that you talk like that, we like to talk out of our ass. But I don't know, the fucking amount of time bending I have been through, right? Because of course time can be slower and faster. I mean, I think it's hard to argue against that, right? So just think about that. The more miserable, the more painful it is, the fucking slower it gets, and the more even painful. And it is not nice. It is not nice, and especially if there's basically no choice. And of course, if I know there's like YouTubers like DBDR or now Head Flying, what he's called, who are like have like a similar situation like me, but for different reasons. And so you could also say that I'm like somewhat like because like I would have the means theoretically to to just fit in the system, because people don't just treat me shitty because I don't look so good or something. I don't have that problem. I also like if I work with people or something, or if when I was in the clinic, I don't have a problem, to go to people to talk with them, that was not the problem, especially since I'm smoking, and also with people who didn't smoke, I talked to everyone who was in that clinic, who was in that group, and even to some of those people who worked there. So I've worked on that. I've worked on that quite some time, and also my travels have trained me quite on that. But it in the end it didn't help. It didn't change my situation because I didn't met the people. I didn't met the right people, and especially I didn't met the right girl. So I'm still sitting here. And yeah, I don't know. And it is just like crazy, like the amount of coping you do. And because you of course, since your lonely reality, it is not just that. It is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's so painful or like in itself, but it is just like of course it repeats itself. There's like nothing that randomizes your game. Like sometimes I get a message, like on some days, and sometimes I'm not. And it is pretty rare for something to happen. I don't know. Also in my apartment, there, like of course, if you have no other humans around, there's not much gonna change. There's no animals that does shit. It's and not that I want one, but you get the gist of it, right? There's just it is repetitive in some way, yeah. And of course you escape into like fantasies. You think a lot about shit. I mean, especially with like all this like research I'm doing, it's not that I'm like losing myself in some sex fantasies or shit. It's not that I'm like not doing that at all, but it is a really really small amount of time and a small amount of energy I put into that. But of course, like with like the historical shit and like the like I don't know, like the big picture, right? And there's a lot of fantasizing, theorizing, visualizing you can do about that, which makes my days, and especially my nights, which are my days. Um, but I don't know. I just imagine conversations with persons that I know or used to know, basically. Um, and it's like since I haven't met so many really nice people. I mean, I met nice people. I mean, like most of the people I know are somewhat nice, but like Leo, for example, he's a simple guy. He's a nice guy, but like if you're just not part of the herd, like he has like this like instinct like to to just disagree with you because you're not applying with what everyone is saying and thinking. And if you're not saying and thinking what everyone is doing, then you're somewhat of a problem. It is, of course, not in every way, but especially in the political way, and in the whole how I can view the world shit. Anyways, it is tough. It is tough to, especially the point with interacting with the other gender, right? That is basically the main problem. I think if I really wanted a strong male friendship, I could have gotten that with that guy from the clinic. I would have to run behind, like how you say it, like like to chase him. Yeah, that's the word. I would have to chase him. He doesn't really chat to me. He says that he has like social anxiety issues and shit. Like he has these like explains for a lot of stuff. But yeah, so I would have to chase him, but I could get like a somewhat decent male friendship, especially for the where I am right now, right? It could work, but I just noticed, especially because not just because, but when he declined the deal I gave him, I don't know. I just noticed that, like even if he would have accepted it, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked because for the thing I want to do, it is, I don't know. It wouldn't have worked with a male. I think, like, it would have worked with a male to a certain degree, and then it would have come to a point where it wouldn't have worked anymore. And especially since I think I have to, yeah, to some degree, fix myself first. I kind of need like like I don't know. Since I mean, like I don't know. I mean, I had like this best friend until the 10th grade, and when I was still in school. But like after 10th grade, and that was like 2018. Since like 2018, life has been pretty rough for me. And I would enjoy some time off, or just like I don't know, just like two nice weeks. 2 nice weeks would be enough. 2 nice weeks where you have to worry about nothing, just nothing, to call in a new era of your own life. That would be quite neat. But yeah, so I'm basically at a point right now where I can still get new knowledge, think about new stuff, think about new concepts, work things out, which is neat, I guess, but it is really hard for me to produce anything in the material world. And because, I don't know, I feel like it is also just not ready yet. The time is just not there yet. And I don't know, I feel like a girl is just just logical on different levels. It is not that I really hold on to the idea of a family with the shit I want to do. I think it's an option for a happy ending. I would like a family. I would like just a house with like a fireplace and like a little garden outside, maybe with some trees and shit, and I don't know, yeah, like maybe even a little farm. That would be quite neat, but I don't know, without like dedicating half of my life for the system to be able to get that. That's like the first thing. That's okay. You have to work for shit. I get that. That's not the problem. The problem is that, I don't know, the world won't get better, and maybe we will have it nice on that farm, and maybe even my kids will have it nice on that farm. But I don't know about the kids and from my kids and shit. And I mean, actually, if I'm honest, I don't know. I'm not even so sure about my kids. I mean, when they grow up, I don't know, man. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think about the idea if it's maybe like if there's like if we are at the point of no return, in this world, I don't know. Maybe it is time to leave, and I know it's time like part of like, and like not like, it's like, how did they call it last night? Last time, part of the genius basically, that that we should just kill ourselves, but I mean, can I say it like that? Or maybe maybe I just fucked up and YouTube doesn't like that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, who gives a fuck? Yeah. Anyways, you lose yourself in monologues. That's something that also can happen out of loneliness. It's something also I notice when I meet up with people, because it does happen, but it does happen rarely. Where other people, meet people basically on a daily basis, because like normal people, they leave the house on a daily basis. I mean, I also leave the house on a daily basis, but only to get groceries. And to smoke some joints on the streets, I guess. But yeah, it's hard to meet anyone in that circumstance. And yeah, and then I'm meeting like with people, and they say like, oh, like how are you doing, and then I'm just like then you could like put like a timestamp in like 30 minutes later and shit, and I would be still talking. I feel like it's not that bad, but it can get bad, and especially since I did these like memos to myself. I don't know, I just got like used to just speaking to myself and shit, and I don't know, it has something releasing. I don't know, I have to say it just has something releasing. It just gives me the impression that I'm actually in a social situation right now, even though I'm just talking to myself, and I'm still not sure if that's a good thing or not. But I don't know. I feel like if I do it too much, it maybe is not too good. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was an example I wanted to point out. So it was like before Christmas. I was like just walking around in the streets. It was like 2 a.m. It was on a Saturday. The weekends are kind of rough because I'm somewhat of a night owl, because it just makes my life a bit easier. And yeah, of course, on a Saturday, there are some clubs around. You just walk around. You just want to smoke your joint like every day, and you want to listen to your music and just do your thing. And then you have like people around, people from parties. You have like groups of boys and girls and people my age and people living their life and shit. And you're just walking around, and of course you realize, that it's not that a problem. And I mean, I don't see them as a problem. I just see them as a reminder. I see them as not a friendly, but just a reminder of what I chose and what I'm missing out. But I mean, I'm at the point where I can't even choose it anymore. You know, I think I would just hate clubbing. I mean, it's not that I haven't tried it. Um, it's just I'm not too smooth brained enough for it. You know, I'm just with like this whole like mental shit. You know, I just like this inner monologue. You know, I can't really shut it off. And it's also at a point where I feel like, you know, I lose control when I don't have that thing anymore. When I don't know what I'm thinking right now. When I feel like, you know, it's just like there's like nothing happening. You know, that's something. It can happen, and sometimes if I want it, you know, it can be really nice. Um, but I don't know when I get like I don't know how to say it. It's just I had it on some situations where I was just so sensitive for my senses, so overwhelmed that I couldn't you know, like hold on to my thoughts anymore. They were still there, but I couldn't grab them anymore, and that was not so nice for me, at least. With like all the shit I went through, I got like raised to hold on to my thoughts, you know. So it is like a part of my programming. Um, anyways, I was walking around in the street. It was a Saturday. It was like 2 a.m., maybe 2:30, 3 a.m., and I was going into a street. I was you know, I went into the ride, and there was a person just behind me. I noticed her, and like I said, her. I felt like it was a she, but I wasn't so sure. I told myself, I don't know, I shouldn't give a fuck. And it's not that anything on the street will ever happen. That girl just pretty surely doesn't want to get talking to. So I should just mind my business, because she probably just wants to mind her own business. And and then she like was a bit faster than me, and like you know, went in front of me, and and she had like some really really beautiful blonde hair, and I don't know, it was just like the way she was walking and shit, and I don't know, it was just like, you know, one of those lonely nights, and to just like, I don't know, when you have like a beautiful woman that just walks by you, it's like an angel visiting you. It is like you still get reminded that there's beauty out in the world. Maybe not for you, but it's still there. And mm, and you know, I was like thinking, you know, like should I just like take two, 3 big steps and talk to her or something? I mean, I haven't seen her face, and she hasn't really seen mine, but I don't know. It was just like I don't know. I felt something, you know, and I don't know. I feel like, you know, I don't realize when the time is right. But in the end, my rational thought was like, no, bro, you do the same shit you do every time. You just say nothing, you do nothing, you just do your thing. She does her thing, and then it's good. And then there was something painted on the street, because there was some construction shit going around, and there was something painted on the walkway, with an arrow showing just up ahead the direction we both were going at that time. And it had 3 letters under that arrow, which were S, O, and N. I mean, I walk this way every day, so it's not that I know that it was there, but of course you don't know it. It's not that the map knowledge is so perfect that, you know. But yeah, of course it was kind of funny when she was in front of me, and we were walking there, and I was walking, and there was an arrow showing basically to her. But and I was like, you know, just I don't know what it does to you, right? What it just fucking does to you, because then you think to yourself, I mean, was that a chance? Should I said something? Then you think to yourself, no, it was just a street. Then you think like just thinking that there was a chance is just pathetic in its own. And I don't know. That's just I feel like shit that, like, I don't know, like a 40-year-old man that never found himself, and, you know, ended up into a relation way too early, with a girl that he didn't really know, and he didn't really know himself, and then he worked his way into a life that he realized in the midlife crisis is not really what he really wanted to do in the first place. And then he has to go through all this shit, to find himself. And I don't know, man. But I'm fucking 23. And I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And like this world is it's I mean it's hard. Of course it's hard, but it is still manageable. I feel like if you have something you can hold on to, if you have like a family, maybe like a nice hometown, I don't know, some traditions, anything will do. Or not just anything, maybe you need a bit more, but you know what I mean, right? And it's just, but in my case, it has just gotten to a point where there's just not much left. I mean, like family, I mean, it is still there. It could be way worse, but it is the way it is. Yeah, like male friendship is like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah, and like with girls, like nothing happened. I don't know, man. And like when I'm like talk to people and I tell them, like I'm like a virgin, like I never had a kiss in my life, they're like saying like, you're kidding me. They're like no, like come on, man, like say the truth. Like we both know that's a lie. And I'm like, no, I'm like not kidding, man. It's the sad truth. And yeah, and it's like funny, because I look so normal and shit, and I speak like I can act like somewhat normal, so people don't realize I'm like a big time loser until I just tell them, and it's interesting how it changes, how it also changes how these people treat me. Because like I don't know, I had that quite a bunch of times where people were just treating me pretty well, and I don't know, I just realized that I don't know, it's just interesting how they treat me, and then I don't know, the more I present of myself, the more I tell them basically that I'm like basically like an outcast and never really fitted in, and that I'm like, I guess, like I'm a bit like, I guess, like my mother, like I guess I'm like somewhat hard to stay around, or I can be, I guess, uh, for sure. But yeah, and then yeah, it drops a bit, it drops a bit how how they text you or when they text you and shit, because like I guess like also in the end, they think, oh, I mean, like you're the lonely loser. Like if you want to hang out, you should text. And because like I mean, like they ask me like, oh, like when do you have time? And I tell them like basically I have like all the time, like basically any time, and there's like not much I have to do, and and I think yeah, I realized that in the clinic that when I tell people that I have all the time in the world, then it's not the good thing that I feel that my intuition is telling me, because my intuition is telling me, oh, if I tell them I have all the time in the world, they feel relieved that I'm like not of like one of those people who have so much to do that have no time. I'm someone who you can actually chill out with, because he has all the time in the world. You can also just chill around, play a stupid Lego game, and smoke some weed or something, or I don't know, right? But yeah, it's not like that. It's not like that. Like yeah, basically I'm meant to yeah ask for like basically like how to when you go to the dentist or something, you call them up and you get like a day and a time when you can do something, and yeah, I don't know. That's just something, like I mean, it would help if I would have more male friendship, and also like with like the political and like truth searching stuff I do, it's also not so easy to find people. I actually never really found people or connected with people in that kind of sense. There were some communities I checked out a bit, but I don't know. It's just not really my cup of tea. I feel like it is hard to find a group in this kind of sense. And especially if this group is some strangers on the internet, and even more if there's a couple of thousands. It's just too, I don't know, too scattered at that point, I feel like. And I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically just loneliness, you know. It's hard. It's not so nice. It does has its benefits. I made a lot of personal progress. I feel like I think I've grown up quite some time, and especially time in a particular sense. I think I'm basically a bit older than I think my age is. Like since the perception of time has changed for the longer for quite some time now. And I don't know, like, even though some days are somewhat just the same, just, I don't know, even if it's just a really painful hour, you know, this painful hour can just feel like fucking days, you know. And you're just sitting there, you know, just staring at the ceiling. And because, you know, I mean, I also catch myself, you know, how I'm basically just like a slave like the others are, you know, how often I just whip up my phone if I have nothing to do, how I always need like a YouTube video like turned on, how I always need like something, you know. And I really try to work on these things for a long time now. And so I'm thinking, I mean, I'm doing the right thing just to lay there and stare at the ceiling, and also it's, I don't know, just painful and sad. I don't know. I mean, it's the way it is. But yeah, that's just a quick insight. And yeah, I think that's about it. So until later.